This lesson is going to be on troop leading procedures. As you can see by the title, it's a condensed version of a class that is taught at Ranger School, specifically at 4th Ranger Training Battalion at Fort Benning, Georgia. It's important to understand that this is just a technique for doing the troop leading procedures. And it is based in doctrine, and TLPs are pretty important for small unit leaders, in the execution of their duties, missions, and there's a wide variety of application for it. So these are the references. I was last exposed to this material in 2011, and the references have changed since that time. I went ahead and updated the references, and you can find these at the APD website, the Army Publishing Directorate website, and download them. Specifically, FM 6-0 and TC 3-21.76, which is the new Ranger Handbook. So the terminal learning objective is to conduct the troop leading procedures, at least to understand them as far as these lessons are concerned. The TLPs are an 8-step process, and we will go in depth on a few of them. Several of the steps you're actually going to have to do them in a practical environment or field environment. But the lessons are designed to give you a refresher or a familiarization with how to go about using it as a system. The first enabling learning objective is to prepare a warning order. So issue a warning order is step 2 of the troop leading procedures, and we're really going to focus on that for the first part of this lesson. So before we talk about the troop leading procedures, let's discuss leadership very briefly. So the first bullet you see here is a span of control 3 to 5. What that means is that the optimal span of control for a leader is between 3 to 5 personnel. So if you have less than 3 personnel, like 1 or 2, you as a leader may have a tendency to micromanage simply because of the nature of the amount of people that you have. Inversely, if you have more than 5 personnel that you are the leader of, it becomes more difficult to control. So a good example of an optimal span of control is an infantry platoon leader. Will have a platoon sergeant and 4 staff sergeant squad leaders that he or she is directly responsible for. So that's a total of 5 NCOs. But you may find yourself in situations where you have attachments that are under tactical control of your unit. So you are potentially would have 1 or 2 enablers, and the good thing is that you have kind of built-in help in that you'll have a platoon sergeant and a weapons squad leader, like a senior staff sergeant, to help you out. Provide purpose, direction, and motivation. So that's lifted directly from the doctrinal definition of Army leadership, which is a process for influencing people by providing purpose, direction, and motivation to accomplish the mission and improve the organization. Provide a clear task, condition, and standard with a time hack. So it's not enough as a leader to simply tell someone what to do, especially if you want to ensure that things get done the right way. So one of the methods that we use is task, conditions, and standards. So not only do you tell them what to do, but you also provide the conditions for a successful completion of the task and a standard with which it is going to be, or which it's supposed to be done to, as well as a time hack. So a great example, I think, for that is cleaning the latrine. So if the task is to clean the latrine, the conditions would be given a mop bucket, uh, cleaning chemicals, a broom, a dustpan, trash bags, paper towels, uh, glass cleaner, a toilet brush, um, the urinal cakes, a variety of other things. The standards, the trash is to be taken out with a trash bag replaced. The urinals are to be cleaned and wiped down with a new urinal cake put in there. The toilets are to be scrubbed and disinfected. Um, the floors to be swept and mopped, and the mirrors are to be cleaned with paper towels and glass cleaner. So that's the standard. You have 2 hours to do that. Now, it's not enough to just provide that to your subordinates. You are still supposed to spot check the progress of their work. So if I gave them a 2 hour time hack, I might want to check on their progress in an hour. And if it's clear that they are not accomplishing the task in accordance with the conditions and standards that I had laid out, then that's a great opportunity to reissue the task, condition, and standards, to give them that adjustment. Right here, you have squad leader, alpha team leader, and Bravo team leader teamwork. So this lesson of troop leading procedures is at the squad level, which the infantry squad, the 9-man infantry squad, is the smallest maneuver element. So this class is really tailored more toward that level. And so what that means is that all leaders and subordinate leaders need to work together in order to accomplish the task. And we're going to talk more about that throughout this lesson. I went ahead and added this to the slide. This is what I believe are keys to success for really any leader, and that's the ability to task organize, prioritize, and have time management and or manage your time. And we're going to explore those three things in depth during this lesson. Task organize here, the squad leader, alpha team leader, bravo team leader, teamwork. There's more often than not, there's going to be way too many tasks for one leader to handle all on their own. And so you divide that work up between the available leaders and personnel in order to get the job done. A lot of people feel like they need to do everything themselves. And that's not a very effective way to lead or accomplish the mission. When we talk about prioritize or prioritization, certain tasks are more important than others. If you use a rifle range, for example, there's really three pretty significant things that you need in order to fire at a rifle range. You need the actual land itself, which is the range. You need ammunition, and you need the weapons. So if I were planning a range, one of the first things I would do would be to request the land or the range. Get a date locked in, find out what's available within my training schedule, and go ahead and schedule that. The next thing I would do from a resource standpoint is to request ammunition. Ammunition doesn't just magically appear. You have to coordinate and request it. And then weapons are typically within the control of that organic unit. But without those three things at a minimum, no firing is going to happen at a range. So obviously other things need to happen in order to run a range. You're going to need personnel to be safeties, the officer in charge, the range safety officer. You'll need staple guns for targetry. You'll need the targets themselves. You'll need transportation to get out to the range. But if I were to prioritize those things that needed to happen, Requesting the land and requesting the ammo are definitely going to be two of the ones that are at the top of the list. And then time management, we're gonna really focus on that during the mission analysis part of this. So going into the principles of patrolling, what are they? There you have them there: planning, reconnaissance, security, control, and common sense. For this lesson, we are mostly going to focus on planning, and we'll throw a little common sense in there. A lot of people think that troop leading procedures are exclusively tied to warning orders and op orders, and that's not true. The warning order and the op order are simply steps in the TLPs, and this lesson is mostly designed to familiarize you with the steps of mission analysis. Mission analysis is the most important thing here. The orders, whether it's the warning order or the op order, those are going to be the output of your mission analysis. So keeping that in mind, the warning order and the op order are not the primary goal of the troop leading procedures. Okay, they are simply steps in the troop leading procedures that are a result of mission analysis. So that will be it for this video. Video 2 is going to focus on the warning order.